If you like to laugh, and who doesn't, then you've come to the right place. Welcome to My Funny House with the Powell brothers. Frank Powell is a real estate broker who was born and raised in San Diego, along with Frank's brother Mark, a real estate broker who also lives in San Diego. Each week, the Powell brothers bring in a special guest comedian to share hilarious real estate stories so you can learn what can go really right and what can go really wrong with home improvements and home ownership. So now, let's get into it with My Funny House. Here are your hosts, Frank and Mark Powell on The Answer San Diego.
All right, we got a good show for you today. This is Frank Powell from the Powell Brothers Realty. To my right in studio, I got my partner, my best friend, my brother, Mark Powell. Mark Powell is going to explain what this show's about today.
Thank you. Happy Saturday morning here. So what we're going to do on this show is we're going to talk about, today we're going to talk about staging a home, which is something that people do prior to selling. And what the show is about is making home improvements and home sales, home buying a little bit more entertaining.
Right.
You want to make it fun.
Typically, it's boring because it's serious, it's stressful. So we're going to bring in some comedians.
Super stressful, correct.
We're going to have fun with this.
We're going to have a good time, and we're going to hopefully give you some information that you did not know about buying, selling, and home improvement. And we're going to do that with another person, our co-host, who is a professional comedian, Frank.
She's a professional comedian. She's toured Afghanistan with the troops, which we know that's a real war zone. So I love her for
she
that.
She provided entertainment there.
Comedy Heights. She's been running and producing a show here in San Diego, going 10 years strong. Started off small. Maria got in charge, and now is a booming business for the comedians.
Okay, so well, you gave her first name. I'm going to give you her last name. Her name is Maria Herman. We'd like to welcome our co-host, Maria Herman.
Hey, Maria.
Hey, good morning. How are you guys?
Good. Good morning.
Doing?
Thanks for tuning in with the Powell brothers.
Well, of course. Where else would I be? Just to be honest, I know we said Comedy Heights is a booming and it's doing so well. Just on a little hold with COVID at the moment, as is all comedy in San Diego right now. But we'll get back there. Don't worry.
If there's something we need in San Diego, is comedy.
We need a little bit of comedy.
Bring them back.
That'll change. Hopefully that's going to change soon. This week, Maria, we're talking about something that people some have natural talent. It's called staging a home. So how to make a home look beautiful for potential buyers. And it's a really important thing. And there's actual companies that do it.
If you think about it, when you if you look at your house, everyone at home look at your house. I don't care where you live. You live in a box, and there's another box, and there's another box. Those are called bedrooms. There's another box called the living room. If you sell the house with no furniture, it's just like, who has the prettiest box? Correct, Mark? That's
correct.
Like a good way. And if you oh, I guess that didn't sound good. Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Who has the prettiest box?
You're going down the wrong road.
I'm going down the wrong road already. Okay. So you don't want an empty box.
What is?
Oh, wait, no.
What is a? Oh, geez. Sorry, Maria.
Want to start over? How do you make your box beautiful? That's the name of the show. Oh God.
Oh, you guys, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Bring in the stager.
Yeah. Bring in the home stager.
Yeah. So anyway, on a serious note, you don't want to have a vacant house. It typically doesn't sell as good because people walk in there and go, "Will my queen bed fit in this room? It looks too big, too small." And so when you stage it, they got a good aperture of what's going on with measurements and so forth.
Well, one of the primary reasons why it's important to stage a house is because the vast majority, I think 90% of home buyers start their home search online on the internet. So if you just have a bunch of pictures of empty rooms, it's not that appealing. But when you have pictures of rooms with nice, beautiful furniture and some wall pictures, here's something very unique with home staging now. There's something called virtual home staging. Frank, can you explain what that is?
Well, virtual home staging is if you get a computer and you give it to a company and they are able to put furniture inside of that house.
Well, you don't need a computer. I mean, you're not going to do it, correct?
I'm not doing it.
So
no.
It's not the homeowner that is going to get a computer and do it. Who's going to do it?
Well, these companies that do it, you call them.
Right.
I don't want to name any of them.
Right. They'll actually put a virtual sofa in the house.
Now, if you the way the law works, if you put a fake beach, okay, that is, you can get in trouble for that.
Correct.
If you put a fake sunset photo, that's in trouble because you're not representing what it really looks like.
Right.
You know, people say they have an ocean view and then they take it with a telescopic lens. That's not really a true representation. However, they do let you put. Go ahead.
So what you're telling us is you can fake it, but only up to a certain point.
Correct.
Yeah, you can fake it, but there's rules on faking it. Correct. If you put
Right.
something in the house that would, like a piece of furniture that would fit anyway, then you don't have a problem. But if you add like 3 feet on your roof to make it higher, then you're manipulating the photo.
Well, research suggests that staging a home gets you more money for your house, and you sell it faster. So if you are paying a mortgage, you don't have to pay it as much because you're going to sell it sooner, and you'll sell it for more money.
The hardest part is talking someone into staging their house because it's not cheap, and
It's not cheap at all.
It's not cheap.
No.
However, you will get that money back when you sell the house. It just keeps it, takes it off the market faster. You get more people looking, you get more interest, and you get more offers. And that's what the goal is. It's like a marketing thing.
We had this conversation earlier this week. Is painting the house considered part of staging?
Well, Maria can answer that, or I can answer that. That's pretty simple
listen,
for me.
For me, the world is a stage, and I think body paint would do really well in my act. So I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say absolutely yes. That's got to be part of staging. That's definitely going to increase my value, and perhaps those that are looking as well. Do you know the guest comedian that I have on this week has so much knowledge in staging because she has several properties and is a fantastic friend of mine. I'm hoping now's an okay time to bring her on.
Yes.
We've toured together internationally. She's been on several festivals internationally, performed in Australia with me, and even stayed with my mother. And believe me, my friend is a saint. Anybody staying with my mother is a saint. She's open for Bill Engvall. She works at Disney as an actress. She's incredibly funny. Please welcome Charlene May.
Woo!
Woo! Yay!
Cheers.
Welcome aboard.
Cheers.
Hey,
Thanks
Charlene,
for
how are
having
you?
me.
Well, as you know, because I know
I'm
you've
good.
been. I know you've been listening on the line. We're talking about staging a home. There's things that go right and wrong. In fact, one of the stories is someone staged a home and the next day squatters moved in because it was a vacant home. What do you do about that situation?
I think you just try to sell it. You just lower the price. When then they go, what's that in the attic? You're like, oh, that's just, you know what? That's your new roommate. That's a squatter. He can't leave. So that's why it's so low. Come on in. Yeah.
Part of the staging.
He won't. Well, what's funny is that's something that I never heard of because I do real estate in Georgia. And so all my properties are in Georgia. I still go back and forth and book them because it's just cheaper there. And I was like, squatters? And that is a thing here. That's real. And I have an Airbnb here. And they said if you rent past 28 days, right, somebody could live there and not leave. And that's when I learned about the squatting. And then I was like, what? And then if you look up squatters, by the way, on WikiHow, it'll tell you how to squat. Like actually now, because of COVID, people are doing it more and more.
What do you mean? What do you mean though? There's lessons on how to squat?
There is. It's on WikiHow, and it's like, are you tired of living in a house that's yours? If you can't survive in COVID, well, we got a plan for you.
That's crazy.
28 days in this wonderful house can be yours. That's really not yours, but it can be yours.
So
yeah, I know. So it's a thing. It's real.
I thought squatting was something you did at the gym. What do I know?
I thought you did it over a toilet.
Something you do in your bathroom.
Squatters, you go, right, that's what I said. I thought it was like a squatter. Like, I pictured like somebody on the lawn, like, get off the lawn, he's squatting again.
Bunch of people squatting down.
I wonder if they have a show where there's squatters who squat, and it's actually squatters, but all they do is squat. That's all they do.
That'd be a good show, reality show.
Yeah, with Sasquatch.
No, well, that is the reality. That could be a perfect reality show. Can you make this house yours in 28 days? That's right. You know what I mean? Like put people in a house and see who can survive before the owners come home and say, we need to take this back. You can't now, 29 days. And, you know what I mean, like whatever.
Did you hear about the group of homeless women who illegally started living in a vacant 3-bedroom house in San Francisco? And the reason why they did it was they said they weren't able to find permanent housing. So they just said, we're going to move in. We can't find high-paying jobs or permanent housing. And they actually started squatting in the house.
And they're still there.
They found out about us.
Maria, get out of that house. We need to sell it.
Well, you know what's really, it's so funny. It's like, I don't like this little house I live in Los Angeles. I'm going to go to the Hollywood Hills and just start looking for houses that are dark. If someone's in Europe for the summer, it's like, no, you aren't, sucker.
That's what happens.
It's mine now.
That's so true.
I know.
So here's a situation that people will come into when they have squatters. So that is a civil matter. Now, so you actually do have to evict people if they're squatting in a house, and it can be real challenging in the time of COVID, which we're in right now. There's special provisions that don't allow people to be thrown out of their houses or foreclosed on.
California has a lot of rules and regulations pertaining to homeless and individuals, and they protect them. They have a lot of rights. And so when they do go into a home for shelter, it's not like the same thing. It's not a burglary. It's not someone breaking and entering. It's squatting is a whole different thing because they are really looking for. And on a serious note, it's sad that we have the situation where people can't find affordable living. Mark and I are trying to spearhead that, figuring out ways to get people in houses that can afford it, because we don't want people. These are homeless people. When you're a kid, there's like one or two, but these are like me missing a paycheck in 2 months. I'm homeless. So the whole group has to stick together.
So over 8,400 homeless in San Diego, and that's a low estimate from what people are saying.
But it's all over, like Georgia, everywhere else.
I'm curious.
True.
I understand that there are possibly squatting problems during COVID, but I want to know, where are the people that own that house and where have they been during COVID? And if they have another house to go to, then maybe it's,
well,
maybe...
One thing we can do with homes is you secure them real well, but when staging a home, they're not using real beds, so someone would be surprised if they went to squat in the house and they went in the room. But Frank, can you explain to me, or anybody here, why is staging expensive? Why is it?
Why is staging expensive? Have you ever tried to move a sofa?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like moving a house. So you're bringing in the kitchen, you're bringing in the bedroom, you are bringing in real furniture. Yeah, there may be a couple like inflatable mattresses, but there's also a trade. It's a trade. It takes a special person to know how to stage a house. I can never do it. If I move furniture around, all I do is upset my wife and it looks goofy. But there's some people that know how to do it that will bring in better offers.
Okay, I have a question for everybody here online. Okay, what if you go into a house to sell it and they don't need staging? They have furniture, but it's just ugly, real ugly furniture. What do?
I don't say anything.
Well, that's... No. Well, it's like,
I don't say anything. I'm like, that's beautiful.
Keep that commission.
Exactly.
Right. You can make suggestions.
Well, they should be truthful. You should be truthful, because truthfully, it's like, lady, I'm not a politician. We're here to sell your house. We're not here to be nice. You got to get rid of your Victorian dolls that are frightening everybody in the other room. It's great that you love your collection, and the stuffed beaver in the corner. He's got a happy smile when he died, but he's got to go. So, because this is in Georgia, I would feel like I go with the we got to get that trailer ready to go. We're gonna move some furniture in.
Well, when you tell somebody it costs like $2,000 to $2,000, $3,000, that's very expensive. So what you can do, and I know where Mark's getting at, the stagers have a unique ability of also doing another thing, and that's taking the furniture that you have and shifting it around and moving the stuff in your garage, in and out, and they can stage a house with the person's
existing furniture.
Right.
Correct.
So that's another smaller fee. If you're worried about paying too much, you could call someone in there just to move around, declutter, put that furniture here, make a better walking space. They have that unique ability to take a 10 by 10 or 20 by 20 square foot room and make it look better than you. So just do it.
Yeah, they'll come into the house.
Go ahead.
It's true.
No,
it's true, because we did a house. Go ahead. No, I was just going to say we did a house, and the guy came in, and he was helping me, and it was like I was like, well, I just got to, because I'm not that way. I just don't have that. Even though I kind of will look at magazines, but all he did was $300, and all he did was change fixtures in the kitchen and did a couple things, and I was like, what is this? This is magic. So some people, even with that, you're hiring them, they can do it in such a creative way if your budget is this, and make it totally different, just with their knowledge, just like you said. You know what I mean? So you're paying.
And I think I'm good at it. I think I could charge for people to use my services. I would move things. I do it when I go to someone's house to visit. If I came to your house, I'd probably just move the furniture while we're talking. I do it for free for my friends.
Where's my ottoman?
Sorry. I know you thought there was a chair there. Not anymore. Voila. There you go. But doesn't it look more open and great? And now you can sell it. And now, look at this. I'm a natural that way. My girlfriend has an apartment in Point Loma, and she's going to be selling it. And she has a pole.
A pole?
A pole.
What do you mean a pole?
I mean a pole as in she works out on a pole.
You mean like a brass pole?
Like a pole dancing pole.
Oh, jeez. I just had to
What do you mean?
remove.
Oh, no, this is incredible. Like, that's an amazing workout. I mean, if you're a woman who can hold her entire body weight up with just her two arms.
What do you mean a woman? Mark does it all the time on the weekends when we're not selling homes.
Does she have to take the pole out, or can she leave the pole there?
No, we add more value if the pole stays.
Well, that's we haven't come across that yet, but that's pretty unusual. You know, when you do hire somebody to come in to evaluate the house,
Have a pole stager.
Well, they have to be diplomatic, you know, because it's challenging to tell somebody for the last 30 years your house has not been organized properly, you know?
Right. For them, they're very comfortable where everything is. They actually have ways of setting something there, and then all of a sudden, like my mother-in-law, Jill says, this lives here. So they actually give it like a life, like this lives here. So if you move it, you're going to offend them. Like, sorry, that's the home of whatever, the vase. So you have to be very strategic.
Yeah,
right?
and even just saying the word decluttering can be offensive. It's like, what, my stuff is clutter? To you, it's clutter, but to me, it's not clutter. So it's a very delicate process that we've taken, it's years doing this, and there's training. They even have real estate training to help you.
Maria, what would you do if you have to tell somebody that you have to move your furniture without offending them?
Well, listen, I have been trying for a long time just to get my husband to move, out. And I would like more open space. I think actually being able to say, I'm not just decluttering, but you don't live here anymore, is a perfect way of being able to explain it. It sounds perfect. It really does.
Decluttering doesn't mean throw your family out.
Yes. Oh, it doesn't?
No, that's the exception. Your husband that sits on the sofa or the kids.
My family.
Well, it wouldn't even be legal. My husband would be like, I got squatter's rights. I can sit here on this couch. You're like, darn it.
You'd have to evict them. They call the police to evict them.
Yeah, not only can I squat, I can twerk.
No, the beauty of that's good.
I just got that.
The beauty of staging a house, though, as we like to just inform everybody, is that the house will sell for more money. Research supports that, and it will sell faster. So when it comes time to staging versus non-staging, we always recommend staging, and when it comes time to preparing a house for sale, we'll recommend a few things. We always recommend interior painting if it hasn't been painted.
Hey, you know what? The bottom line is people want to know the bang for my buck. So what we do is we first go in the house and we evaluate it. We walk around and we've seen everything and nothing surprises us. So it's not a big deal, but there's ways that you can have value without spending money. Okay?
Correct.
That's just to move things around, to throw things away, to give things to Goodwill, to do the things that you wanted to do, but you're like trapped almost. That's why the Powell brothers come and help out. We actually do it, move stuff around.
We'll move it around and we'll talk to the people.
Staging, cleaning the windows is another one. Just clean your windows. You wouldn't believe it. Like, when's the last time you cleaned your windows? Like, no one cleans windows. If you clean the windows, you wouldn't believe the view you actually have. You get to see the plants again and just that. So these are the little things that'll give you back a lot of money.
You walk into someone's house, we can't even see outside. What kind of nasty people?
Yeah, exactly. Clean your windows.
Windows. Damn. You know what's funny is I do corporate houses, so all my houses are furnished. I decided to go that way. And my sisters were like, "Are you insane? Why are you spending so much money on furniture?" I was like, "Trust me, because I'll get a better client, I'll get more money, and people will respect it more." And it was true, because when you just these Airbnbs that have crappy furniture or have this, even if it's not even in a nice area, or you're like, "How could you spend that kind of money?" And I'm like, "Trust me, I'll get my money back." And it's so true with everything. Like, people don't have imagination. Like, I remember there was one room was like red because they were Georgia Bulldog fans, and they wouldn't change it. And they were like, "I can't come in this house. It's red."
2 minutes.
Just paint it. But it's like people couldn't get past the red room. And I would laugh because I would say, "You can change it." But it was like I said, "You got to change this room," because people just are not getting past the room that's red for some reason, and they're like, "I don't think so."
Well,
but
yeah.
thank you.
No,
And it's
all
so
they do
silly,
is
but
see
it's
red.
so true.
So if we needed to find out information about staging, we know where to go now. You go to the Powell brothers. But what if we need to find out information on how to get a hold of Charlene May here? How do we do that?
Well, this is how you do that. Okay, commercial. You can go to Instagram, Charlene Comedy, and then I have a website, Charlene.com, CharleneMay.com. That's it. And I'm working on a podcast. I'm working on, YouTube, Charlene Comedy. But, truthfully, if you watch a lot of Disney shows, I'm in a lot of shows. Like, I was on Rules of Engagement every week. I don't know if you've ever seen Rules of Engagement with David Spade, but
Nice.
I was in the diner every week. So it's like Where's Waldo? Every week for years, I was in the background, and I would have principal roles in Rules of Engagement. But that's it. No big deal, darling. Just some television.
And Maria, how do we get in touch with you?
I will be squatting at Charlene's. This is where you will find me, yes. I'll be in her cupboard looking for chocolate. That's what I do. ComedyHeights.com, Comedy Heights on Instagram, Facebook. Find me, contact me there, MariaHerman.com or Maria Herman Comedy. I'm everywhere and nowhere. Where am I? Squatting with you next.
Love it. Okay, so we talked about squatting, twerking, we talked about pole dancing, but it's important to stage your house. If you have any questions and you need to know what to do, getting your house ready, call the Powell brothers, right? 858
922-7725, or visit us online at
PowellBrothersRealty.com.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next
week. We have a great show coming up next week. You will be surprised.
I like this one.
It's a good one.
The issue is crazy.
Yes.
Everyone will relate. Thank you
guys
so
later.
much.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much for joining us today for My Funny House with the Powell brothers, right here on The Answer San Diego. Join us next week as the Powell brothers bring you more funny stories of what can go really right and what can go really wrong with home improvements and home ownership, and bring the laughs to you with yet another hilarious guest comedian. To find out more about the Powell brothers, be sure to check out their website at powellbrothersrealty.com, or you can visit myfunnyhouse.com. Again, thanks for being with us, and we'll see you next week for My Funny House on The Answer San Diego.